Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Gimibox ergonomic keyboard. So this is provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. On the front here it says curved ergonomic form factor, built-in pillowed wrist rest, front and palm kickstand design, multi-device and multi-OS. Here in the back we have some specs. You can pause and read through those. Okay, so let's get this open. Here we have the keyboard, manual, then in here we have the charge cable. So this is USB-A to USB Type-C. First let's get this started charging. So I'll plug into a USB charger, so you can plug this into a phone charger or a computer. And we have the USB Type-C port in the middle rear. So it's red here, it's showing it has power. This is not reading any amps, but it might still be charging. So let's take a look at the manual while that's charging. So this comes with the keyboard, cord, and manual. Here's system compatibility. So this lists Windows, Mac, Android systems. It's compatible with iOS, iPhone, iPad, and such. But I'm guessing this is compatible with way more systems than they even list here. You could probably take a 20-year-old computer and plug the USB dongle in and have this work. So here's a description of the keyboard. We have indicator lights. We have buttons for 2.4 gigahertz and Bluetooth. So you can have one 2.4 and two Bluetooth. So you can switch between systems with this. This shows the bottom. We have the USB-C receiver on the bottom. So that's the 2.4 gigahertz. And I'll go over that in a minute. I'll show it. So it has an on-off switch. You press the mode button for the mode you want to use. If you're using Bluetooth, you want to choose Gimibox GB315. This talks about connecting it to the 2.4 gigahertz receiver. So it should be paired automatically, but if you had to repair it for some reason. This talks about repairing it to Bluetooth, so you hold down the Bluetooth button for 3 seconds to do that. This talks about charging it. So here's a chart of the function keys. Now you can see it lists this out by different OSs, like Windows, Android, iOS, and Mac, but the functions are pretty much the same amongst the different systems. Like these two rows here have a couple differences, but it's mostly the same stuff. Otherwise it's copy-paste, things like that. So that's the manual. Let's take a look at the keyboard itself. So this is charging at 0.09 amps. It's kind of hard to read on here. So I'll hold this at an angle, and we can see the keystroke. So these are a short throw. So if we look at the keys here, the top row is convex, the bottom row is convex until the end of this cursor key, and then the field here is concave. These are all concave, including the numeric keypad. So we have the main keyboard here, we have the numeric keypad, and we have the cursor keys here. Here we have the padded rest. So this is a kind of faux leather kind of material, and it feels like there's a foam under it. Now if we go to the bottom, we have the rubber feet. Looks like we have 5 of those. We have these flip out risers on the front and rear. So you can raise the front, rear, both. And this is the 2.4 gigahertz dongle, and that magnet's in there, so it stays with the keyboard. So everyone will have their own preference. I like to raise the front, like so. That's my preference. So this should be charged up enough to test it out. So let's get it connected up to a computer. Okay, so here I have a MacBook. So I'll turn the keyboard on. And on my MacBook, I'll go to the Bluetooth settings. So I'm going to go to System Preferences or Settings, depending on which model of Mac you have. In Windows, you'll go to the Windows Control Panel. And I'll open up Bluetooth. So I'm going to hold down this button here with the Bluetooth symbol to 1. Now this is going to flash in the middle here. It should pop up here in just a second. There it did. I'll hit Connect. Now on a Mac, we have the keyboard assistant come up, so I'll hit continue, and I will hit the buttons on the keyboard, say done, and now we're all set up. So now on the Mac, I can use hotkeys. I can hit Command Tab to go between my applications. So I can hit Command Space to open up Spotlight. So I'll open up a document here. So let me enlarge this. Okay, I'm typing on it. Let's see if I can get that bigger. So for a Mac, I use Option Command, and for Windows, you use Windows Alt, and they're labeled properly. So I can say Command A to select everything. I'll hit Backspace to delete it. Okay, that typed nice. Now I'm used to typing on an ergonomic keyboard. If you're not, it may take a little while to get used to it. The main thing is to stick with it. So this felt very nice to type on, and I am standing right now. Normally I would be sitting. This is not at the best angle, but it worked well. nonetheless. So we do have hotkeys here, so I can hit the brightness buttons and it will adjust the brightness on my display. We also have these little task switcher buttons. We have search, brings up spotlight search on the Mac. And we have copy, paste, mute, screenshot. So that was setting it up on a Mac. Let's do the same on an iPad. So I'm going to go into my Bluetooth settings, and now I'm going to go to Bluetooth 2, and I'll hold this down. The light is flashing. We have the keyboard here. I'll pair it. Now I can use this just like I could on the computer. So I'll pull up a document. There we go. So if you use an iPad, there are a number of different keyboard options. Apple makes a little keyboard and you get portable keyboards, and those can be good. But if you want a full-size keyboard, you can connect a keyboard like this right to the iPad using Bluetooth. So we have the iPad here, and this is a 2024 iPad Pro, but it will work with other iPads. We have the MacBook here. Now let's say we want to work on both of these. I can press Bluetooth 1, and we're back on the Mac. I'll hit Bluetooth 2, and we're back on, I was selected, but we're back on the iPad. So when you press it, this will flash here, and we can go back and forth. Now it also has that dongle on it. So if you have an older computer that doesn't have Bluetooth, we can plug that right in the side, and I can plug it in the side of this Mac here. And then I will hit the first button here. And I can type there. So I noticed one thing, when I'm using that dongle, the command and option are reversed. Now you can go into the keyboard preferences and change those. If you connect with Bluetooth, they're correct. And that's not uncommon when you're connecting keyboards on a Mac. So that's the Gimibox ergonomic keyboard. If you're looking for a wireless ergonomic keyboard, I think that's a great option. You have your keyboard and numeric keypad there, and then you also have the special function keys on the top, and then you can connect it up to 3 different devices. So you might have this connected up to your main computer, then on occasion you might work on an iPad or even a phone, and you can pair that up with the other button. This can also be nice if you have a computer and a TV. You could pair that second Bluetooth up with your TV, or maybe use that dongle. And then if you have to sign into Netflix or something, you can use your keyboard instead of having to use a remote control or something. So that can be handy. I really like the configurability of this with the feet at the front and rear, so you can raise or lower each side. And it has that rubber on there so it doesn't slide around. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.